Now the session is about large language models, LLMs. This is the word that we are hearing a lot in the current trend. Along with that word generative AI. The title of our workshop just recollected by, it's a generative AI with the subtitle and tagline from neural networks to LLMs. We started our journey with the very basics of the neural networks from biological neuron and then artificial neural networks and how these artificial neural network enhanced and enriched with the deep levels of layers and the neurons together, deep neural networks which we can use for regular classification prediction tasks along with the processing the image data, that is the convolutional neural networks with the concept of feature mapping from the image data, and we hadn't stopped there. We extended our technology learning with the sequential representation of the data with the advanced deep learning concepts, recurrent networks with RNN and LSTM cells and GRU cells, and then extended this image feature extraction, not only extracting the feature, not only classification and prediction, we can generate new images. There where actually generative AI has been started. Yesterday we had the discussion with starting from the auto encoders and then to the GAN. We stepped into the concept of generative AI. The basic of this generative, it's very clear now with the word title itself. Generative AI means it's a field of artificial intelligence which will help for generating new. Okay, right? So core concept, basic concept behind this generative AI mechanism is transformers. In the yesterday's session we saw how the transformers will work. Three main important components are there with the transformers. Can you recollect it back? The first one, encoder decoder mechanism. Second, attention mechanism. Third, transfer learning. These are the three things we have to remember forever. We have seen this transformers with the attention mechanism, how this will work with an illustrative example in yesterday's session, both the encoder and decoder parts. And in the last session, yesterday's session itself, I introduced you, there are two types of transformers which uses both the attention mechanism along with the transfer learning. What are those two? One is BERT, second is GPT. In the morning session, we had a lecture about BERT. The concept of transformer is both the encoder-decoder architecture. It's a common architecture, designed architecture. From that on only the encoder part that was designed. We have seen both the operations of encoder and decoder of the transformer are most are similar. According to your concept and application, you have to change and fine tune it. Now the BERT was implemented on the encoder part of the transformer. In the morning lecture session we saw that one. What is the other model I told you? GPT. What is that GPT? Generative pre-trained transformer. Pre-trained transformer and used for generations. So transformer, as a transformer, it is having the mechanism of attention following the encoder and decoder architecture along with the transfer learning. It's already pre-trained transformer I am going to use for generative purpose. what we are going to generative can be either text or video or image or something else, voice, speech, or whatever it is, whatever the form of data would be, right? Thus, we are stepping into the concept of LLMs. This today's session I am going to start with large language models. Kalyan, I need someone to help. From artificial intelligence with machine learning, deep learning, already it was shown in the last session itself, somewhere in this GAN and autoencoder lectures itself. So, it is a subset of deep learning and also intersects with the generative AI. So, that both deep learning, generative AI, sorry, not deep learning, LLMs and generative AI are subsets of deep learning. Enhanced, enriched models of these deep learning concepts. We already seeing from the beginning of the lecture sessions. Just now I had given you the what is that brief and review how this evolution was started also. How we came into this LLMs also, right? So, while coming to define what exactly these LLMs are, it is a field of generative AI which can be used for generating textual data, image, what is the next one? Voice, and also for synthetic data. As we discussed just before, it is a concept of generative. The pre-trained transformer models we are going to use for generating different data which can be either textual data or an image data, a video data or a synthetic data or synthetic data. So, then what is this generative AI? Again a question. We already had a discussion about this one. It is a field of artificial intelligence which can be used for generating from the pre-trained models. To better understand this concept of generative AI, let us have a look about this, what are the different types of deep learning models. This was also discussed in the yesterday's session by Mr. Balram. Remember, discriminative and generative, that is the difference. The regular classification prediction models, ML algorithms that we are using are called discriminative models. These models will be trained on the data set which are having the labels and can be used for predicting a new data, whether to classify or cluster or predict some value. During this training, what these models are doing? Capturing the relationships in terms of features in the attributes provided to that model, right? So, these are the discriminative models. Coming to generative models, these will be trained on the data and will be used for generating a new data. Not for classification and prediction, can also be classification and prediction. That is the difference. The word generative itself will give you the clear pictures. Generative models use, look at the points which are listed there. This will understand the distribution of data and how likely a given example is, and will be used for generating new data that is similar to data on which it has been trained. Okay? For better understanding, I can show you with one more example. Have a look on this. And the discriminative models like ML algorithms of classification, those model will be given an image or the features, whatever it may be, attributes, not only the image data. Okay? a labeled data, features of a dog or image with the label as a dog will be given to the classification modal, which is called the discriminative modal, so that when the next time the model is given a new feature of the dog, a new image of the dog, it will assign or predict or classify that image. Thus, classification prediction is discriminative model. How it is happening in the generative model? The same data we are giving it here, similar kind of data to a generative model. When it is given, it will generate another image of the new image for the dog. Did you find the difference? Generative itself will give the meaning useful for creating a new, which is similar to data on which that model was trained. I will take you with one more example case. Technically, if you wanted to see this, predictive models like ML algorithms, which are discriminative models, will be given the data along with the labels together for training the model. Once this is done, what is the output of these models? A label for the new data which is given to the same model which is asked for prediction. Coming to this generative AI models, unstructured content will be given as an input, so that it will generate a new content. In the yesterday's examples, while we are working with the Hugging Face library for question answering, have you seen that? Just to recollect that. A context was given, a question was posted, how much this company has been paid, then it replied with 10,000 rupees or something amount. It is already there in the context, but it has generated. So, that is what called generative AI model. Now, what exactly the meaning of LLMs? What are large language models? Large language models are large general purpose model. I am going to give you the technical definition of this large language model. Large general purpose models can be pre-trained and then fine-tuned for specific tasks. All are the basic core concept, it's transformers. These are all the pre-trained models on huge corpus with billions of parameters. Such a high level memory is there for these models. Already pre-trained models on general purposes will be used for specific applications of your choice on a small data set. I am going to show you that also. Suppose, just imagine you are training a dog. What are the general commands that you can give to your dog in order to get it trained? Sit, come, down and stay. These are the regular commands. These commands are sufficient for a dog to be a canine citizen to lead its day-to-day life. Sufficient, right? Say suppose you wanted to make your dog as a service dog. It can be either police dog, guide dog or hunting dog. Are you capturing the intention? In order to make your regular dog as to be a service dog, either of these three, what are you supposed to do? Your dog has been already trained for the regular day-to-day activities to make it very happy, lead a very happy life. Sitting, standing, stay back, that's it. But you wanted to make it as a service dog with either of these three things. What are you supposed to do? Special training is to be given to the dog. training your dog with the 4 basic commands is the dog was trained for the general purpose. If you wanted to make it as a service dog to either of these 3 services, you're supposed to give special training for performing that particular task. Am I clear? Apply the same strategy to the large language models. So, take a model which was trained for the general purpose on a huge corpus of data with billions of parameters and use that model for your specific task of small set of data. The model has already been trained on a huge set. So, I am transferring that knowledge. So, inherently it is involving the concept of transfer learning. You understood? Simply this is the concept of large language model. So, can you define now technically what is large language model? It's a model pre-trained on huge corpus of data for general purpose and will be fine tuned for specific purpose on a small set of data. That's it. So, these are all the different applications that you can see. So, models which were trained for the text classification, question answering, document summarization, text generation like this can be used for doing your specific tasks in either of these domain areas, retailing, finance, entertainment, all these things on a small set of data set with a specific goal oriented task. Clear? Okay. In order to explain this large language model, what is the main important features of this language model? Mainly there are the 3 important features are there. The first thing is the term large. Large means, we are already discussing, these were trained on the huge corpus of data. Entire internet information along with the morning we have seen, BERT was trained on 8,000 books database along with the internet information, right? So, thus huge corpus was used for training. So, you just imagine how much of knowledge this model has gained. How this is preserving this knowledge in terms of complexity of the network architecture, in terms of number of parameters. Right? Just now Asha ma'am had shown you one BERT model which is having 110 millions of parameters. This number of parameters will give the skill of the model, will represent the skill of the model. How capable the model is to do the computations, to remember the knowledge, to carry forward and transfer the knowledge. So, this term, the key important feature is large and the second is general purpose. Just now I told you, trained on the general purpose and can be used for the specific on a small data set. And the last is pre-trained and fine-tuned, relevant to the same second point. These are the key terms if you wanted to define what is a large language model. Okay. If you look at the benefits of this large language model, a single model can be used for different tasks. Let me explain you this concept. Yesterday I had shown you with the Hugging Face, first task sentiment analysis. I used the Hugging Face pipeline. I passed the task of sentiment analysis and a sample document was given to that. What was the output of the task? Whatever the text is given, sentiment of that task was given, right? Positive or negative. The same thing I have done with another pipeline task. What was that? Text classification. Did you observe? Did you observe? What is text classification? Classifying the text into one of the classes. Here the classes what I am mentioning, again the positive and negative. Now you just think about, can't I use this text classification for sentiment analysis? Do I need to use the only sentiment analysis task of pipeline? Clear? Is it clear? Similarly, text generation is also there. That you can use for creating a chatbot. When a user is giving some prompting message, system has to give the reply. For that, accordingly, user will give one more query and system will get a response. For building a chatbot, this is the task of text generation. Can't I use this text generation for translation? Can you think? Yesterday you had asked me one question, right? Can't I use this text generation task for implementing a translation model? You just think about it. Because all these are the pre-trained models on huge corpus with a number of languages. Yes, I can. But what the thing is, I need to precisely specify this prompting message. If I wanted to translate from English to French, when I am giving the prompting message, I should give the type the text what is to be translated in English. I need to specify along with the text translate into French, translate into Germany. Getting the point? When you are using the Google search also as a translator, Google Translator,
is the token will get passed to the decoder part. Okay? So hope you understood the first benefit of this language models, and the second is fine tuning. You can fine tune because I have been already trying for a general purpose. You can use me for any of the specific purposes. Whatever you want. Only the thing you need to provide what the small domain knowledge to me so that I could effectively work in that domain. And next, obviously we know that we started from neural networks with a single neuron, extended with one layer with the two
neurons, extended and re-extended and to the deeper levels. Now in the morning session and the yesterday session we have seen this transformer with 92 or 96 layers. Obviously if you are enriching your network with the number of parameters, performance will get increased. So these are the three benefits of the large language models. If you study this, what is the capacity of the GPT very base model 1, GPT 2, GPT 3, 3.5, 4 and everything. In terms of number of parameters, obviously you would observe the performance difference. One best example I am going to present in front of you, Pathways Language Model PALM, which was released by Google in 2022 April. One of the large language model. I am going to show you different language models also, different large language models, right? This was released by Google in 2022 April. Let's have a look on what is the power of this PALM model. Just observe this. Started with 8 billion parameter with 3 tasks, question answering, arithmetic and language understanding. And performance got improved with more complex architecture and with more number of parameters to 62, and then right now it is available with how many? 540 billion parameters with the capacity of performing all these tasks. Can you imagine how this evaluation were there? Started with 8 billion, right? With the 3 tasks. Enhancements you can see here. Now this is such a high capable large language model which can be, you can see here, translation, dialogue, joke, explanations. It could do the explanation for the jokes also. So no bother about any language joke if somebody is playing against me. Now I can use this one. whether he is criticizing or praising me, right? Okay. So if you have just a highlighted point here, dense decoder only transformer. So this form was implemented and using only the dense decoder part of the transformer. If you wanted to understand the detailed architecture of this form, we need to do a more research on the study of this one. The following link which is provided here will give you the blog information. When I am sharing this PDFs, you can get that information, go through the link and get more details about this part. Right. Thus, we came a long way from traditional programming and then neural networks and then to generative AI. Right? Just have a brief on this, how this traditional programming was there. In traditional programming, in order to identify an object, distinguish an object called cat, you need to specify the hard-coded rules. That is, type of the object is animal, it has 4 legs and something, ears is 4 and fur is there, yes or no. So hard-code rules to be specified to distinguish an object in the traditional programming language. From there, when this neural networks come into the picture, it has been changed. The models were trained with the label data like a cat, with the label of cat, which other than the cat, other animals with the label as not cat, and were used for predicting whether the model is given the cat or non-cat. Now what generative AI is doing? Models was trained on huge corset on versatile data sets of number of languages, and it was asked to generate what is cat. Because we have been trained on enormous data, I am just asking you what is cat. Because you were trained on that, now you are in a position to talk about what is cat in a descriptive way. A cat is so like this. This is the differentiation from traditional to generative AI programming. Coming to this, LLM's development versus traditional development, if you see, LLMs requires no expertise in machine language. You no need to train. It doesn't mean no need to train. If it is a task specific, object is there in front of you and the small data set you have to train. That's it. Already these are the pre-trained model that you are just using. And last point is, only the thing is you need to think about prompt design. That is only the task, challenging task for you. But coming to this traditional development, all these things are you need to require. All the time you need to think about whether I am getting this optimal error or not. All the time my objective is to reduce the loss. For that I will do fine tuning. That is the difference. Okay. Now we are entering into the interesting thing. You don't need to feel bored right now onwards. Till now it is only a theoretical session up to this slide. I'll make you more interesting. Right? One of the typical LLM use cases, what is that? Question answering. Now it is very interesting. Listen. We know very well about what is this questioning answering in NLP. Yesterday we have seen, just recollect it. Given a context, pose a query, it will reply with the answer by taking the context by considering the context. Right? Okay. But for that, the same task of question and answering in NLP, it requires the domain knowledge. Right? But coming to generative AI, say suppose I wanted to ask the question about some health issues or consumer services or the supply chain management, I need to provide the domain knowledge in terms of context to the Same questioning answering task using NLP applications. NLP models which was used for this. But coming to generative AI, that is not required. That is not required. No need of domain knowledge. It will generate the free text directly based on the context. I'll show you how it is also. Right? I'll take you to that one. Let's have a look on the questions given to. Okay, let me ask you one thing. Now, how many of you are working with ChatGPT? Can you raise up the hands? Very good number. Please raise up the hands. Okay, very good. May I know for which purposes you had used the ChatGPT? Development of what? Let it be very frank.
Web technology.
Web technology application.
Yeah, a few doubts in web.
Doubt clarification. Give me a very clear picture. For doubt clarification, can you say one example? Did you ask what is CSS?
No.
How did you use that? You just tell me.
My logic wasn't working, so I tried to see what's up.
Yes. So which logic you posted in that prompting message? Some HTML code?
React.
React code. So he posted a bit of snippet of the React code, and what he asked? Did you ask anything?
Yeah, like depending on what was not working, I
So
would.
that is his experience. Can anyone else share how did you use this ChatGPT?
Debugging a
Code.
code. Debugging.
Debugging. You posted a code and asked to find out the errors.
Code generation. Code generation.
For which task?
We give it a prompt to generate the code and
Which problem? For which problem you tried?
anything for to
You
generate
just share one example.
to generate a blog site.
Blog
Blog site.
site. So he asked the GPT to generate a code for blog site, to create a blog for the site. Okay, anyone else? Can you share?
Reframing the sentences to professional language.
Deframing?
Reframing the normal sentences to professional sentences.
Very good. He asked for rephrasing the sentence. Okay, because we are not that perfect in our English. We are very good at Telugu only. Right, next. Any other purposes? Fine. You have your own experience. Can I ask you one more question, mister? How much time did you spend on working with GPT? Totally. Since when did you start it?
A year ago.
An year. Oh, really great, man. I just started from 4-5 months only. Can you guess how many hours you worked on? It's okay, no problem. Right. You have your own experiences with ChatGPT. Now I am going to show you my experiences with the ChatGPT and it will take you the main concept. Let's look at the questions given to the ChatGPT 3.5. Can you have a look on this question which is posted? This year's sales are some 1 lakh rupees, expenses are 60,000. How much is the net profit? This is the question I posted. I directly opened the ChatGPT environment and posted this query in the prompt. Did I give any context? No. But it is relevant to the concept of finance sector. Am I correct? So, this was the reply given to me. How beautifully. Okay. I started with very basics only. Right? Okay. Then, you can look at this one. Printf %d. The double quotes was missed. End in double quotes for the control string was missed. I didn't ask anything. I didn't ask it to find out what is the mistake. I just posted the query. I am not asking anything. But can you guess and imagine what is the reply I got? Right? The code provided missing closing quotation and it is a C code with the right information and an explanation for this line of code. It's not only responding to the whatever is posted, it is giving additional information also that I am also going to show you. You can hear, okay, it's overlapping images here. I think I asked the question, are the LLMs are cutting edge technologies? Or the LLMs are cutting edge technologies? This is the query I posted. So I got the response is this one. It's not functioning here. Actually, this scroll bar will work out here. Anyhow, I can't be able to show it here. Just sorry for, excuse me for this one. What I am going to tell you about this one is, yes, it said LLMs is a cutting edge technology, but as per my knowledge, up to 2021 September. What is the reason? ChatGPT 3.5 was released in the 2021. It was trained till 2021 September on the entire internet data. So it's mentioned clearly, as per my knowledge, up to 2021 September, LLMs are cutting edge. But whatever is advanced today will be step back for tomorrow. You please refer the more documents for more emerging technologies. That's what it suggested. Right? Okay. Now this is another query I had posted. So what I am trying to do is, I am trying to create a data frame called average rating DF from another data frame ratings with the names group by book title and calling the aggregate function mean and resetting the index and renaming the column names and finally displaying the data frame. I just posted that snippet of the code. I don't know whether it is having the mistake or not. I just posted that. Then I got the response is this one. A clear explanation of the 3 lines of code which has been posted. Now you tell me, do you need of teachers to learn anything? For any programming languages or for any concepts? Do you need of teachers? But still you need teachers for mentoring and guiding you. Yeah, please, Anuradha Garis.
My question is that whatever we are posting in ChatGPT, is it giving always 100% correct result?
No. It's true. Everyone is able to agree that one. It's not all the time 100% correct. Right? Okay. Now I had a question. Let me listen. How beautifully you have to use this ChatGPT I am going to tell you. Listen. This is the snippet of the code which I posted and it gave very good explanation for whatever the code is doing. Now I got a doubt. What I am calculating here is, I am creating a data frame by grouping on book title and calculating the mean value. There I didn't understand how this mean it is calculated from the data frame. Getting my point? I am calling an aggregate function mean. I am grouping the data frame by book title. There I got a doubt how this meaning is going to be calculated. I just posted the same query in the next. So this is the reply it has given to me. I asked it to explain how this average rating was calculated in the above code. Give with an example. It replied with this chart information. It's created a sample data frame and explains and how this aggregate and average value will be calculated. Everything was clearly explained. So for anything, if you wanted to understand about the code or snippet of the code in each and every variable that you are using in the code, just post that snippet of the code in ChatGPT and ask for explain. Along with illustration or examples also it will give you. Use the ChatGPT in a proper way. That's it. I wanted to tell you. Now, coming to the end of, yes, I tried one more thing also. Did you ever try reposting the same query? Anybody of you? Did you ever try repeatedly asking the same question? So it just told me, it seems you are repeating the code snippet that you provided earlier If you have, if you wanted to discuss anything, something, anything specific to that, then ask me. I'll be here for you. Right? Okay. Seeing all these examples, for whatever the query I posted, I got the desired response. Am I? What is the reason? This is what the reason. Prompt design is the reason. What is this prompt design? It is the process of creating the prompts that elicit the desired response from the clear? Okay. In this prompt area, whatever you are prompting and posting, that should be very clear, concise and informative. Then only you will get the desired results from the services. What are all these prompts and prompt engineering? There are two terms are rolling across the world: prompt design and prompt engineering. Both seems to be some similar and differentiation. Finally, the aim of these two things is we wanted to design the prompts which should be very clear, concise and informative. Coming to the brief about prompt designing, involves instructions and context. You have to pass the context and give the instructions while designing. Prompt engineering is the practice of creating prompts which will enhance your model responses. That you have to do with practice only. These two things you can experience with practice. Even I am taking a lecture for 1 hour session about the prompt design and prompt engineering, no use of that one. The differentiation we can understand better by experiencing only. So I am winding up this point. There are 3 kinds of LLMs which needs the prompting in different ways. I am going to give a brief about this one. Right. What are those 3 are? The generic language models, instruction tuned and dialogue tuned. The way how you are giving the prompting and designing based on this kinds of LLMs we are defining. That's it. One is generic, second is instruction tuned, third is the dialogue tuned. Let's have a look on this generic language models which is based on this. It will predict the next word or the token based on the language in the training data. I will give you with an example. This is what yesterday we have seen from illustrative examples of transformers. Say suppose your model is processing the sentence, the cat sat on. Obviously the next word would be the. That you can see from the result of this model, the is the word which is most likely next word and A is next most likely and these remaining are the less likely words. This is the general purpose. Fine. Generic language models. Next, let's have a look on the another kind, that is the instruction tuned. Right? Here what is supposed to be is to predict a response to the instructions given to the input. Along with the input, instructions should be given. So what I am asking in the prompting message is summarize the text of X. X is the input I am giving or the context. Along with the instruction I am giving is summarize. And another one is generate a poem of style. These are the instruction tuned. And another one is give me a list of keywords based on. These are the instruction tuned large language model. So as I told you, these you can experience with experimenting only. I don't want to make you to feel bored. So you wanted to do, just I will give you this one. You wanted to do the classification. When you are posting the query, classify the text into neutral, negative or positive. This is the instruction that you are giving. and the text that you are posting is I think the food was okay, this is the input text, then it would reply with the sentiment, whether it is a positive or negative. Instruction tuned. This is the third one, that is the dialogue tuned. You can see this with examples. I'll make you to learn from this one with experimenting, right? Now here is the models I just wanted to produce in front of you. The large language models which were developed across the time, over a time period, with respect to their sizes. It's a tabular representation I just wanted to provide you. It's a brief, not all the model, most popular only were involved. You can see here ELMC with 94 million parameters, which was released on 2018. Then in between around 2018 and 19, BAT was the language which was introduced with 340 million parameters. The morning in the Asha's ma'am session, you have seen the 110 million parameters. What is the difference between this one and that one? I am expecting answer. Sorry? Base. That was the base model. Okay? Right. Next is the GP2, which was introduced in the beginning of the 2019 with 1.5 billion parameters, you can see here. And right now GPT-3 175 billion parameters, somewhere you can see 176 also. I don't know what is the difference of that statistics. We'll study that one. This is about ChatGPT-3 only. Now GPT-4 is also available, right? Are you experiencing? Not yet? You are not working with Microsoft Bing? Not yet started. Okay, do experience. I already done. I'm enjoying with that. Okay, fine. Let's have a look on different LLMs offered by different MNCs. The popular LLMs, we had a discussion about the Palm, which was released by Google, and another some more are Bird, Bat, Robota. Morning we had a discussion, right? And Amazon Falcon, and GPT-3, 3.5, GPT-4 most popular, OpenAI. This table will give you an idea about what are the different LLMs offered by different MNCs. Just have a look on this one. So in our next lecture sessions, we are going to work with OpenAI. Now I am going to take you to the OpenAI. I am not going to talk about the GPT model in the today's session. Tomorrow I am going to talk about the GPT and its architecture, how to use this. But today I am going to make you to work with OpenAI. Right. And in the next lecture sessions, Neil sir is going to talk on Meta's released Llama. These LLMs, what I am saying till now is for textual data. We have the large language models for image data, that is VLM. In the afternoon session, Mr. Balram is going to talk about this, one of the VLM. Right. So finally, we came into the OpenAI. How many of you heard about this OpenAI? Very good. Can you share what is this OpenAI?
It's a generative AI company that makes generative AI products.
Yes, correct. It's American based, I think so, correct? Research center, research and development center, which provides a huge set of large language models that you can use for different purposes. Do you have the OpenAI account? Have you generated the OpenAI key? Thank you. Not yet? Any one of you generated the OpenAI key in this auditorium? Okay. Somebody is there. Mister, thank you. Anyone else? Next. 2 members I have. Anyone else? 3. Okay. Right. Just have a look on this OpenAI timeline. In 2000 it was started, officially founded, And there was an enhancement you can see in 2016, that is OpenAI Gym. We don't know about the gym. Now my focus is on the first introduced in 2018. The first GPT version 2018. Okay. Now in 2019 some more enhancements, and OpenAI releases the first DALL-E for images, working with the images. Okay, in 2021 and 22 DALL-E 2 and 23 right now it okay. Along with the Microsoft, it released GPT-4. This is the GPT basic model architecture. Whatever the architecture is, refined architecture for these LLMs, but the base idea is all the time the encoder-decoder architecture that we have seen in the yesterday session, transformers. Fine. Anybody wanted to do a detailed study on this GPT very basic architecture, you can go through the link, which is, sorry, I forgot to provide the link, I will provide. This is the architecture it follows. So here it is having the transformer block and transformer block. This is the detailed transformer block provided here. Already we have the pre-trained model. We know the mechanism behind that. Why we need to go through all these studies? If you wanted to build your own models, then you can go. Choice is yours. Now I coming to the ending part, that is how to use OpenAI. In two ways you can use. One is using OpenAI API, second is using ChatGPT. Tomorrow we'll see about the ChatGPT. I mean, most of you are working with the ChatGPT. I think I no need to introduce much about how to work with the ChatGPT, but the rest of all of you today start working with the ChatGPT so that you can experience how to design the prompts. In the today's session, I'm going to show you how to use this OpenAI API. Python I'm going to show you to perform the specific task. Now the question is, it's not free, you have to subscribe. But when I started 6 months back, for initial it was given a free trial for me. I don't know, I don't remember for how many days. Can anybody? 3 months free trial. I forgot that. I don't know, I was using the free trial version. Afterwards I registered subscription for $5 so that I can get access to this OpenAI account with the OpenAI key which I generated for a year. So it's not the free, you have to register. So I'll take you to OpenAI. Whomever is having the accounts, I think I saw 3 of you are there having the OpenAI keys. Rest of all you just observe how we are using this how to work with OpenAI API. And noted down the points. Already who are having the OpenAI keys, may I know what you are doing with this OpenAI keys? Guy, what are you doing with that OpenAI key? Sorry, I can't hear you. Are you able? Someone is.
In VS Code we have chatbot.
Chatbot.
In that chatbot we have to access the chatbot. We need a API key. We
Ah.
are getting the API key from the OpenAI.
I know. You need a API key. What you are doing with that API key? I am asking. Are you building any model? Chatbot creation?
So in VS Code we need to access a chatbot.
Ah.
In that chatbot
That very good. Okay. So to access different libraries, we need of that API keys. That I am going to show you. You have to go to openai.com. So once you log in into this one, it will ask you to register for the first time when you are logging into that site. You can join and continue your registration process with your Google account at gmail.com or something else. Once you register, you can get login into this site. Once you logged in, what is the page that you will get it here is this one. I just entered into this. This is what the page you will get it here. You can see the tab menus, overview, documentation, API references, examples and playground. Okay. Just go to this. Okay. For the first step, once this account is created, from the right top corner, you can see here, this is a personal with my account. In the drop down level, I created an account with the email ID anuradha@kmit.com. So look at the view API keys. If you click on this one, it will ask you for generating the new secret code with API key. Are you able to see this? This one. Create a new secret code. Make these codes are confidential. Do not share with anybody. So create a new secret code and copy that one. If you wanted to go for subscription, go for billing. As I already subscribed, I can show you the dashboards of my utilization. I have the subscription till September 2024. Recently I subscribed. Before that I used on a trial version only. Done. Okay. So then I am taking you to the playground. What is this playground is? It's a web interface. It will provide you an interface to access the model for different tasks. Here you can use these models, different models with the, whatever the parameters provided here for performing your own task. I'll show you how to work with this. I just posted the message, add message, hello, and submit. Can you see what is the response I received? Hello, how can I help you today? I am going to ask it what is today's special. Is there anything special? I don't know. I am just asking it. I am sorry. I don't have any information about today's special. Okay, I am going to ask, who is the Prime Minister of India? As of my knowledge, you can see that September 21. I told you this was the trend till September 21. As of my knowledge, up to September 21, it's saying Narendra Modi ji is the Prime Minister. I'm asking another question. What is his age? You just see how beautifully it is responding. His age, he born on 1950. By the time of September 21, he would make 70 years old. Correct? Okay. With a genuine reason it is saying. Okay. Now you can see here how I am using. These are the parameters, different parameters which are provided in the right panel, you can see here. Right? Mode is the chart. I am changing it to the complete. And here if the models also there. Text DaVinci 003 is the model that I am using. Right? Here are the different other models are there. Text Query, Text Garbage, Text Ada likewise. You just change the models and you can observe this one. Now I am going to use this web inference for writing something. Okay, I am going to, what I am doing is, now I am going to use this complete feature. Can you see here what it is called? The mode is complete. I am going to use the complete feature. What is meaning by complete? If you give something prompting, it would complete. How I am going to use this, that you can see here. I am just asking it to write a poem or simply complete poem Twinkle Twinkle. Yes, it completed the poem. Choose the proper modal which can translate either into Hindi. We already have the modals which can translate into Sindhi. And post something or ask it to generate the poems. Now change the feature to edit. What I want, I am giving the instruction, replace twinkle with rose. Now whatever the poem, editing is free while in beta. Okay, right. I think it is not able to do this. Yeah, it did it. Roses are red, violets are blue, something it has generated. So I am just telling you what are the features are there here, for what purpose you wanted to use, and what are the modals that you can choose here, and the temperature is the parameter which creates which specifies the randomness, controls the randomness. Okay, now I am coming out of this OpenAI platform and take you to the how to use this OpenAI in Python. These are required things for you. When you want to build LLM model, you are going to work with the Python. Can I expect your attention for a while? Okay. Working with OpenAI API. I had shown you how to work with playground environment. It is a web interface. And I forgot to show one more thing in that one. Let me show you that. That is from documentation, you can see the different models which are provided here. If you want to know what are the models which are provided accessible in OpenAI, this is where you need to browse the information. From documentation you can get all the models. The latest is GPT-4. Is it visible? I'll make it a little bit bigger. Fine. Can you see what are the models provided here? GPT-4, GPT 3.5, likewise the models are there. Continuous upgrades are there in the models. You can see all the upgrades in the model. GPT-4 currently accessible to those who have made at least one successful payment. I am able to access this GPT-4. Can you see the models which are provided? Here are the model names are there. GPT 3.5 Turbo with a number of parameters and the versions. Here ways you can get. Yeah, you have seen this DaVinci 002, Bob is 002 from the playground models where I had shown. So if you wanted to know what are the different LLM models which are available, you can go through this documentation. You will get the names of the models with respect to parameters, features, usages and everything. Fine. Now I'll take you to how to use this OpenAI in Python. How to use this OpenAI in Python for performing your specific tasks. That is what is the use of LLMs only, right? Okay. First of all, in order to do that, first of all you need to install OpenAI. Who are not having the systems or who are having the systems, all you can take this code. After completing your subscription, you can be able to run this code. Who are already having the key, they can use this one, right? First of all, install OpenAI API. Once it is installed, then import OpenAI and the key which has been generated in the OpenAI keys where in the account what I had shown there, right? That key is to be copied and pasted into this location and stored into the variable OpenAI API underscore key. I am telling again you, please don't show the code to anybody. Because I am believing you, I am showing this code. If anybody is tried to malpracticing, I can't do anything, hopeless. Okay, I can believe you guys. Right. Now I am going to show you whatever you people are doing with ChatGPT. I tried with this OpenAI applications and the tools in Python. It's interesting, just have a look on this one. I wanted to get a response for the given chat conversation. This is what my intention. If I post something, I want the response. Clear? Right. What you're supposed to do is OpenAI.completion feature you're supposed to use. I showed you in the models, different models are there, completion, creation, likewise. Here my expectation is task is completing the chat conversation. So the feature which I am using is the completion, starts with the capital letter C. This is supposed to be written OpenAI.completion and I wanted to create a new completion. Create is the method. Am I clear at this line of code? Fine. Now what are the parameters that I am passing is the model is text DaVinci 003. I had shown you this model in ChatGPT 3. Right? Choose one model with the suitable description, looking at the description, suitable for your task. And this is the prompting. This is the conversation, how I started my conversation. This is a message, prompting message. That you supposed to pass with the parameter prompt. Prompt equal to, what is a sklearn library? Listen guys, you asked me to share the PDFs of PPTs only, not for the code. I am not going to share this one. Anything you want, you have to note it down. What is a sklearn library? And the maximum token in your response, 1000 tokens. 1000 what?
So if I run this code cell, because I am able to access my API key, I could be able to run this code cell. If you are running, you will not get it, right? Okay, this is the response that I received. You can see here. Is it visible to you? You want me to zoom a bit more? Yes. OpenAI is notified. I ran this code cell long back. I'm installing and importing this OpenAI. And running this model response key conversation once again. Now I'm getting this result.
You can see here, this is the response. It has generated the response as a JSON file. The response is a JSON file with a dictionary with multiple keys. One is the warning with the corresponding value, ID with the corresponding object, likewise choices, which is a list again consists of dictionary with more elements, text, index, log props. This is what I need the response of this conversation, result of this model. Am I clear? That is to be extracted, has to be displayed. So it is under with the key text in the dictionary with the key value choices from the response of this OpenAI.completion create. Understood? Okay. I am storing this result into the variable completion with respect to completion with the slicing of choices of 0th index and taking the text key of the dictionary and stripping, you know the meaning and purpose of the stripe operation. New characters, new line character feeds that will be discarded. So this is the response. What is the query I posted? What is a sklearn library? Now you just tell me, do you need a textbooks to know about all the libraries, Python libraries that you are using? You can use the same thing. Just post a query, it will give you the answer. What is a sklearn library? It's a free machine learning library for Python programming and so on, that is given. NumPy, SciPy likewise. I started this conversation with a prompting message, what is sklearn library? Clear? Okay. I'll show with another one, what are the NLP use cases? What are the use cases of NLP? Applications of NLP. We are studying since 3 days, man. Okay, chatbot. Morning also we did sentiment analysis, text generation, language translation. All these things are used. So I got a beautiful response. You can see here, sentiment analysis, its purpose, machine translation, text summarization, text classification. You just remember, I am just using the feature completion. I am creating a new completion feature, and with the prompting message, I am not providing any context, but still I am getting a very good effective results. Fine. Okay. Answering yes. He used for that purpose of Node.js, right? I tried to. I am trying to build a web application. What backend framework could I use? I wanted to work with the web application, but I don't know what is supposed to be used. It gave a very beautiful response to me. There are many backend frameworks that you can use for building the web application. ASP.NET, Node.js, Express.js, Ruby, Rails, Flask, Django, all these things. And finally at the end he told me, upon your preferences you can choose either. Okay? Yeah, here I used another parameter called temperature. That's what I had shown in this API playground web interface. What I told you, temperature will give the randomness. Less value of the temperature closer to 0, 0.1, 0.2 will give a very focus. Larger value will give the very generalized. Okay? Experience with changing the parameter. And another parameter that I used is n equal to 2. Default is 1. The meaning is most likely one response or most likely two responses. If I am setting the parameter n equal to 2 means most likely two responses I am expecting. Is it clear? Okay. So now this is the responses I got. You have seen choices text and choices text. Because I set the parameter n equal to 2, I am getting two mostly likely responses from this completion creation. Yeah. However, that guy asked, somebody said he used the ChatGPT for generating the code snippet, right? I tried with that also. Generate a Python code for depth first search algorithm. For this, what I used is the same feature completion by creating new and using the same model which is suitable. This is what the reply I got. DFS algorithm. So you no need to refer any textbooks. Use just this API or ChatGPT. It will give you. Because these are the model which were trained on a huge book corpus. Okay, write a Python code that generates the synthetic. Yes, this is a case based. So earlier question was direct question. I asked it to generate an algorithm for depth first search. Guys, okay, algorithm for depth first search. Clearly it was given the instruction. But coming to this, a case based question was posted. right? Just have a look on this one. So it made me very easy for facing very effective questions on a specific task. That's a part of my job. I made a beautiful set of questions which are case based by using this chat GPT for certain purpose. I am not going to reveal that one. Okay. Here I can show you one example. Write a Python code that generates the synthetic drug sales data that stores in a data frame. I am asking it to generate a case based code. Is it clear? Application oriented. So now you can ask this chat GPT or this OpenAI for generating, build a transformer based encoder part transformer based model for performing this particular task. You can expect the code, you will get it. This is the code it responded to me. Can you see how beautifully? It started with importing the pandas library random and created a dictionary with the drug and sales, with the drugs are 4 drugs and the sales, these values with the random parameter, and stored into the data from. I asked it to store into a data from, it stored beautifully. Print the data frame. I just copied that response which is given to me and run in the Python itself to just verify. Just before Dr. Anuradha ma'am posted a question, right? Do you believe 100% on ChatGPT? Yes, I too got the same doubt. I copied that code cell and posted in the Python and ran that. I got a beautiful results. Successfully executed. This I just copied, pasted and ran the code cell. This is the data frame that has been created for the code that has been generated by this model. Right? Okay. Yes. There is one more. Till now we had a discussion about the complete feature, right? Now there is one more feature called moderation. Can anybody experience with this moderation? Who are working with this OpenAI keys? Moderation. No one. Right? I too don't know about what is moderation, what is the purpose of this one. The same question I posted to same API with the feature of completion. Getting my point? See, remember, listen carefully. Guys, listen. You should learn how to work with ChatGPT, how to design the prompts. I heard about this moderation feature. I don't know about this one. I wanted to know about what is this moderated feature. Till now I already worked with the chat conversation with the complete feature. That I used for knowing the information about this moderation feature. This is what experimentation you are supposed to do. Fine. This is what I did. Here you can see here. Same OpenAI completion feature is created with the prompting of what is OpenAI moderation explained with an example prompt. Now it responded to me. Now I understood very easily. It's a tool developed by OpenAI something that helps to detect and filter out potentially offensive and inappropriate content. If at all any prompting message is given to this moderation feature, it will identify whether the text is offensive or not. What is the application of this one? Anybody? Real world application of this?
Instagram comments.
Huh?
Instagram comments.
Sorry?
The Instagram offensive comments are not.
That's what application. Tell me the application. The feature is this one. Application. Spam mail filtering. How this Gmail is doing spam mail filtering. That is the application of this feature. This is the task, that is the real world application. Clear? Okay. Now how I used this one, I can show it here. Same as like how I used the completion. OpenAI.moderation.create and send the prompting message with the parameter input. This you have to remember. For the complete feature, I posted the query prompting message with the variable prompt equal to. It was designed in such a way, that's it. The variables you have to learn. For the moderation feature, it should be posted with the variable input equal to. I want to kill him. This is the prompt message I posted. Is it offensive or not? Yes. This is how it return the results. Across different parameters, it is observing this percentage of offensive is there in that statement. Is that sexually statement, abusive, hate, harassment, self-harm, sexual minors, and at last look at here, violence is found. You can see this course. Violence with the value of 6.4. It's a violent statement. I want to kill him. Violence is there in that. Which type of offensive statement it is, that it is predicting. Okay. With the example it gave, yeah. You can see how it was used in another purpose. Generate some interview questions related to transformer models. Generated a beautiful set of questions to me. What are the advantages of using transformer? Transformer model handle long-term dependencies. How the transformers are holding long-term dependencies? What is the answer for this question? How it is handling long-term dependencies? In the yesterday session I discussed about this one. Multi-model inputs. Best practices for fine-tuning the transformer model. Look at that another one which I posted. Generate 10 MCQs along with the keys. Can you guess where I used this? At the end of the workbook, you are going to write an examination, right? I generated the questions for that examination from this only. Fine? This is how the output is generated. Looks like this. We'll phrase the question. We'll give the options along with the answer. Right. So what I am going to tell you finally is, in today's discussion we had discussed about how to work with this OpenAI LLM models. I am requesting you and suggesting you to go through this OpenAI site, go through the documentation, see the different LLM models with the different versions and the number of parameters and its features and purposes, and start working with OpenAI. But for working with and get access to this OpenAI key, you need to do the subscription. $5 for 1 year subscription. It depends on you. Choice is yours. For this, you are supposed to use the credit card credentials. Okay? And whatever you are doing, don't share these API keys with the others. Keep them as the confidential. Right? So today I am ending this session with this explanation. Tomorrow I am going to continue this LLMs with more focus on ChatGPT. Right? Any doubts? Right. Thank you so much.